You're here with the Mouse Vibes, and we're back at Universal Studios Hollywood for a theme park update. So let's go check out the latest construction update at Super Nintendo World, check out the biggest sale of the year now that HHN is over, and what's going on at CityWalk. So let's head into the park and see what's new. We are back at Universal Studios Hollywood for another theme park update. Let's not waste any time at all and head over to Super Silly Funland so we can take a look at the current construction update for Super Nintendo World. This bird's eye view is actually the best spot to check out the construction update within the park, and so much has changed since last week, especially in front of Bowser's Castle. You can see that they're actually adding framework above the entrance to the new attraction. Those frames will actually help support Bowser's face as you enter through his mouth and into the queue. Here's a side-by-side of last week's construction update versus today. A majority of the attention is actually focused on Bowser's Castle. Last week they had the guardrail up, setting up the fencing for it. This is really going to make the land feel whole and alive, and it is the focal point of Super Nintendo World. There is some work going on at Canopio's Cafe. You can see two guys actually working on the framework for the outdoors. We should see this mushroom restaurant come to life very soon. This is probably the biggest update for Super Nintendo World this week, and it's what's going on the outside of the land. You can see in this area that it's painted and there's actually a facade and theming going on, and it's leaving many people to wonder, what is this? I'm guessing this building is going to house a stairwell or an elevator. You can see from this angle there's a door leading out to the roof, and looking inside the land I can't see a stair set that is available to guests. I'm guessing you're going to use these three doors to access the indoor section to outdoor. So this doorway will lead to this door, and this doorway will lead outside to this section. I took the studio tram tour earlier in the day and I was able to confirm framework on the second level, but on the bottom level I'm not sure. The bottom area looks to be the home for the Bowser Jr. attraction, so I'm curious to see how much space it takes up. So I think the next question is, what's inside the second level of this building? Comment down below what you think. In the last update for Super Nintendo World, a new member of the Koopa clan has arrived. Last week this guy was back over here wrapped up still, but now this Koopa clan member is out of his shell and ready to be part of Super Nintendo. And one big change for Platinum Pass members, the terms and conditions of your pass have just changed, in particular for Super Nintendo World. On this line, it gives us our biggest clue. Includes park admission one time per day after 3 p.m. Express access to each ride, excluding Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, opening early 2023. Attraction and seated shows, and one time per day after 3 p.m. reservation free entry into Super Nintendo World, opening early 2023 when reservations are required to enter the land. Express access and reservation free entry valid after 3 p.m. Holy smokes, what a clue! Are we getting a reservation system for Super Nintendo Land at Universal Studios Hollywood? These type of systems are already in place at Universal Studios Japan for Super Nintendo World. It gives you a time slot of when to enter the land, and with the popularity of Super Nintendo World, it's leaving many people wanting more before the land even opens. Let's take a look and see how it can happen here at Universal Studios Hollywood. Looking at the lower lot, there's only a few logical places to place an expansion for Super Nintendo World, the Mummy being the obvious choice in Soundstage 20 and 24. Universal has made a commitment to moving the sound stages technically away from theme park space closer to Barham. I know I'm talking about an expansion before Super Nintendo World officially opens, but honestly, it's not that crazy. Over in Japan, a closed doorway sat there with a familiar colorway, leading guests to speculate if this was for Donkey Kong. And after leaked plans were put on the internet, Universal Studios officially announced a Donkey Kong expansion was coming to Super Nintendo World in Japan. Let's shift gears. Halloween Horror Nights 2022 is officially over, and that means it's time for the biggest sale of the year. The merchandise was so good this year, and I feel like I made the rookie mistake of buying all my merch on day one. I wish I would have waited to get this awesome 70% off sale. This Killer Clowns from Outer Space glass was only $6. They actually had pins and buttons as well. This is your last chance to get any of the merch. This is 2022 on it. The biggest deal of the day was this jacket, originally priced at $95. and it was only $28.50 after the discount. I bought these at full price twice and they're only $4.99 today, and I had no idea they were selling these large Frankenstein screamers as well that say Halloween Horror Nights on it. I've never seen this before. The Chucky dolls from the sci-fi show were actually on display inside the store. Chucky's face is so freaky. Look how real this doll looks. Even the detailing of his clothing is next level. Chucky's son Glenn and girlfriend Tiffany were also on display, and something else cool I noticed was there's actually a photo of these puppets or animatronics on set for the new show. There was also QR codes on each of the display cases. When you scan the QR code, it would take you to a website, Alterian Inc., which is an LA-based studio specializing in animatronics and prosthetics makeup effects. But why is this display coming up after Halloween Horror Nights 2022?
Yeah, that's right. I'm back. And I'll see you suckers at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights next year.
An all-new haunted house, inspired by the hit USA sci-fi series Chucky, is coming in 2023 to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando Resort and Universal Studios Hollywood.
How cool is that? We have our first Halloween Horror Nights announcement 1 year in advance, but that doesn't mean there still isn't screams inside the park. Universal has done a great job at clearing out most of the Halloween Horror Nights decorations from this year. Parisian Hello Kitty is loving it. No ghosts or goblins today. The Waterworld Stunt Show is closed while they remove the Horrors of Blumhouse maze. What's gonna happen to the Universal Horror Hotel? Is this thing gonna sit empty for a whole other year? And the Parisian Courtyard is behind walls while they try to get rid of the curse of La Llorona. Also, the Universal Plaza is behind walls. I wouldn't expect this area to open up until November 25th. This is the main location for Grinchmas, and Grinchmas's first day is November 25th. Around the park, you're starting to see Christmas decorations, and obviously my favorite place in the park, Mulligan's, is the first place to do so. Everything on Pets Place and Minions Way, including the Secret Life of Pets attraction, is getting festive. We're only a few weeks away from celebrating the holidays at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's not an update unless you get on the world famous studio tram tour here. This is a staple attraction you have to get on. Loading on the bottom, I noticed they added a new LED screen letting you know what's going on the lot. Last time we were here, we didn't have this. We had this awesome gentleman waving at us next to a planner. We were super lucky and were able to get one of the new electric vehicles on the studio tram tour. Honestly, this is a game changer. It's the best way to experience the tour. The vehicles are silent and you're able to hear your guide along the way. I also wanted to take one more lap to see the outside of Super Nintendo World along the studio tram tour. This building is definitely something I want to keep my eye on. I can see that there's theming on the top portion of this building and down below as well. Moving along with our tour, we made our way into the popular destination of Amity Island. This is a fan favorite along the studio tram tour. This is where you get to come up close and personal with a great white shark. Unfortunately for us, Amity Island was completely drained, undergoing its yearly refurb process. Check it out, Bruce's dry dock just hanging out above the lake. Kinda looks like a fish out of water. Another thing I wanted to ask, now that Halloween Horror Nights is over, how much longer do you think the set from Nope will last on the studio tram tour? Comment down below. I cannot believe how much is happening inside Universal Studios Hollywood and how much it's changed just since yesterday. Let's head into CityWalk and do a quick update before we wrap up this video. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, nothing really interesting is happening at CityWalk right now. It's still the same restaurants and quick service food items to grab. The one thing I want to keep my eye on is Twosome's Chocolate Emporium that's coming very soon. This restaurant is also located at CityWalk at Universal Orlando and is a fan favorite, specializing in huge milkshakes and crazy desserts. This will be a great new addition to CityWalk at Universal Hollywood. I feel like we need one anchor, some type of theme restaurant, and Twosome's might be the ticket. There is a new store coming to the old Skechers location called Celebrity Authentics. This is a place where you're gonna get your autographed collectibles. Also, with Halloween Horror Nights ending, what's gonna happen to the temporary HHN store inside CityWalk? Right now they're honoring the 70% discount, but how much longer do you think that Universal will have the store? The last nerdy thing I wanted to check on is gonna bring us over into the Curious George parking lot. This is the area I was able to do majority of my HHN updates last year, but it looks like they added a metal fence along the entire perimeter. It actually extends the entire way out and it looks zombie proof. This thing looks like it's here for the long haul. It's welded shut, so this might be something to keep our eyes on. It also looks like there was some work being done around the stage area. This man was replacing LED panels for the screen, and the Abercrombie fountain is down once again. Alright, and that's going to wrap up our day here at Universal Studios Hollywood. We showed you the latest construction update with Super Nintendo World, how the park is transitioning away from Halloween Horror Nights, and everything that you need to know on your upcoming visit. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It really helps us grow, and if not, thanks for stopping by.